Hello, my lovely students, and welcome to this webinar on world-class communication and powerful public speaking skills to increase your impact, income, and influence in the world. Yes, this webinar is being conducted by yours truly. And this webinar on the art of powerful communication is going to be conducted on the 26th of March, which is this coming Tuesday, between 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing all of you on board with me on that day. I'm running this webinar, and it is a personality development and image enhancement platform that contours and customizes topics of training based on individual requirements. Our programs help one maximize potential by helping overcome perceived shortcomings, thereby instilling confidence and increasing their rate of success. From the time you enter a room to the handshake you make, the conversations that you strike, and the gestures, you're faced with diverse situations. How you conduct yourself in these situations is telling the difference between success and failure. Mind you, there are others in the race too, equally willing and talented. Be it an interview, a presentation, or your first date, the impression you cast will decide the results that you will have. Our professionals and experts, including myself, coach you to perfection in an environment that is highly interactive and creatively challenging. Everyone in this world needs to communicate better. Otherwise, it's just everything is confined within yourself. You may look very beautiful, present yourself very well, dress very elegantly, walk into a room with great glamour and confidence, etc. And the moment you open your mouth, there's nothing coming out.
Hi, I'm Isaac, founder, CEO of Vitalis Biosciences in Bangalore. I've been a serial entrepreneur in the life sciences space for the past 30 odd years, and seen success and failures. Listed some of my companies in India and abroad, and it's been a very interesting journey. India has tremendous opportunities in our space, but some of the challenges that we face are unique. One principal challenge that we have is with our people. They're good scientists, good engineers, but they have a challenge with regard to being effective communicators. And when your personnel, your key employees, your stakeholders are unable to communicate effectively, it means that the organization does not communicate effectively. And that could make the big difference between success and failure. So it's imperative that key people, if not all employees, are effective communicators in a language that is understood internationally in business, which is English. I've had occasion to interact extensively with Professor Anukriti Sharma, who's been a leading light in training and teaching people to be effective communicators. Her command over the language, her ability to express herself and her ideas, her zeal for teaching and training people to communicate is simply out of the world. I found very few people with that ability. And Professor Sharma has trained so many thousands of people across the country, not only in talking about themselves or their ideas, but also on how they express themselves, which is a total of how you dress, how you stand, the confidence that you radiate, the language that you use, and all this put together helps you to become an effective communicator. I'm happy to hear of Professor Sharma's program coming up on the 26th, where she teaches you the nuances, the little things that make a big difference, and the big things that make a big difference about effective communication. And I invite all of you to participate in this program and learn from Professor Sharma to be an effective communicator. Thank you and best wishes.
A warm welcome to all those who've decided to be a part of our webinar on world-class communication skills. Before we get you on board, I, Mishti, would like to familiarize you with a few fundamental ground rules for this webinar. Professor Anukriti Sharma believes that advanced communication comes to those who are alert and focused. And during our upcoming webinar, the best way to be alert is by having your cameras on. I'm Mishti from Professor Anukriti Sharma's team, and I shall be joining you all for this webinar on the 26th of March as well. Before we get ahead, Professor Anukriti shares deep insights which are so powerful that you do not want to miss out. So please ensure that you have a diary or a notepad and a pen ready with you so that you can make your notes. Now, if you hear something on Tuesday for the very first time in your life and are simply blown away, put a PP against that note, which stands for a power punch. You can also do the same in the chat box. At times, you will see that the chat will be kept off. This is to ensure your focused learning. We are joined by Professor Anukriti for our introductory session today. And before we meet her again this upcoming Tuesday, I'd like to ask her what everybody is thinking about. Why are communication skills so important? And how can we be powerful communicators?
Thank you for introducing me, Mishti. Everyone says I'm an amazing speaker, but we've all been speaking our whole lives. A lot of you have been speaking maybe even much more than me. So why am I better? What's the difference? I watch myself. Feedback. Study. Self-analysis. If you don't study, you won't get better. I'll give you an example. We've often heard this advice which is given to potential speakers, about standing in front of the mirror and speaking in front of the mirror. But you never get better. You can go on speaking in front of the mirror for 6 months and you shall not get better. Why is that so? Because you never self-analyze. You never analyze the game of communication. When my coach, Miss Sabira Merchant, would train me, we would sit down. She would sit me down. And we would do the boring analysis. Why? What did you do? What could you have done better? So it's the analysis, the feedback that makes you always better. It's feedback that makes you good at things, not just practice alone. You have to practice, then feedback. Always. And communication is one of the most important things because that is something which you do every day, all of the time. If you are going to be good at one thing, you might as well be damn good at that one thing which you do most often. And you all are talking all the time. Trust me, as a professor, I would know. It sounds like a small thing, but I'm telling you, you can compendiously and concisely explain your point of view. When you can do what I can do, like a machine gun, 5 points at once, especially in a debate, it's very hard to argue against me. If you just give me a minute,
I'll make 5 points. And then I would link them back to 2 older points. And then I would also hint at a future point. And now you have to counter that. And you're like, ma'am, you're just too bad. Ma'am, you're too bad. You can't argue with me. That's how some of my top competitors got wrecked. So, communication, it's a battle, it's war. It's concise, it's precise, it's to the point, and it's got to be strategic. So, I want you to be very, very good at your speeches because it is an easy thing to accomplish. It's not difficult. It's not like boxing. You're not going to get hurt. Stop saying you look like exactly what you are talking about. You don't use your and ahs. So if I ask you, what's 2 plus 2? And you go, 4. You don't sound smart at all. If I ask you, what's 2 plus 2? And you go, 4. Damn. Now you look smart. But the and the ahs makes you not look smart. And when it comes to communication, I always tell my students, it is not so important to just focus on your words. No. There is a series which we follow in terms of a descending order of importance when it comes to the elements which are required to be an effective, powerful communicator. The first important element is your energy, the aura that you carry around yourself. We call it your electromagnetic signature. And your energy cannot lie. Are you authentic, genuine? Are you sincere? This is communicated by your energy. The second most important element is your body. How do you walk? How do you carry yourself? What kind of clothes you wear? How do you dress up? The third most important element is your tonality, the tone of your voice. What kind of a tone do you use? You've either got to be cheerful or you've got to be passionate. But there's a big problem if you are neither cheerful nor passionate. You got to choose your tone wisely and well. And then the least important aspect of all are the words. You'll be surprised if I told you that 97% of your communication is formed by your energy, your body language, and your tone. Only 3% of your communication comprises the actual words you use. So join my webinar and let's become effective, powerful, world-class communicators and powerful public speakers. Some of the most successful entrepreneurs, business professionals, working professionals, brides and grooms to be even, and beauty pageant contestants have experienced the highly empowering workshops conducted by me. And I offer lifestyle altering experiences, and I can say this with absolute authority. Once you have mastered the art of social skills with me, you can never be ordinary ever again.
There are two types of learners in this world. The first category is the one which is simply interested in learning something new. Now, these people will only take action in the real world when things are convenient. However, there's another category of learners in the world. They are the ones of commitment, which means that they will take action even when times are tough and challenging and things are inconvenient for them. So I believe that all of my learners are the ones who are the learners of solid 100% commitment. And I want all of my students to commit to themselves and say to themselves, yes, I commit to going all in and doing whatever it takes to improve my communication skills and take my life to the next level. Yes, my dear students, I simply can't wait to meet all of you during this webinar on Tuesday, and we shall do our best work ever.